All right, fine. All right, how's everybody doing? Blah, blah, blah. I am going over. Like before. Yeah, Rose was fine with it, but I just you guys are coming in earlier, so then I kind of rushed to get there. I kind of wanted to get everybody in before lunchtime. I didn't want to just close on lunch. So that was the whole reason for 10 o'clock. And then we just recorded on YouTube anyway, so it's so good. Um, but yeah, I'm down for 10 or 11, you know. 11 gives me more time in the morning to get caught up. Restart page. All right, well, no updates for, since last week, if you guys, you guys can do that by now. But we'll just check and see what's going on since last week. So I keep mine on a 7-day cycle chart to just see what's happening every week. Again, got 1,000 listings with 1,000 clicks. So you guys get it for some 1,000 homes a week. If you want in on that, it's up to you. So just contact, keep at it with buyers. I know the inventory is coming on, and I know it's a struggle, but get your offers in as fast as possible. And we're going to kind of go over another option for submitting offers today to speed up and streamline your showing, and so that you're doing less tools. So, again, that was what I'm anticipating. Right now, I like to watch loans and stuff. I didn't do a lot of loans in my early career, but I learned to watch loan officers. I like loan officers. Mother-in-law was an underwriter. We did a lot of stuff with World Savings Bank, with Cobia, Wells Fargo now, Bank of America, Citibank. So ins and outs of underwriting, I've learned a lot over 20 years I've been doing this. So one of the things I watch if you make friends with a lender is watch that bond market. So they're incentivizing hedge funds to start buying bonds versus spending money on Bitcoin. So that's kind of been the index for us seeing an interest rate hike. So we're anticipating interest rates to start end of the year, probably by second quarter. We'll probably start to get familiar with 4% interest rate, which will slow down with 1,000 homes per week. Right now, I think most people are getting about 3% interest rate, 3.25%, if not lower in the 2. So those days will be disappearing, and then instead of inflating prices, we'll price instead, which is good, just for trading for you guys, and getting comfortable with it. So that's what we're anticipating for next year. So hopefully it mellows it out. But right now it's super active. If buyers are on the fence, say, hey, are you on the fence for a $500 a month difference in payment? It should be like $300 or $400 difference in payment when it's contract. So if you do the math over the years, right now you can basically save $300-$400 if you save your account for insurance policies or IRAs or whatnot. It's probably a better investment than giving it to your mortgage company. People that are on the fence, that's what I say. Just pay. That payment is important if you want that low interest rate. A lot of people are taking advantage of it and refinancing. If they don't own a home, they should. Take the rent payment of $3,000 a month and reduce that by like $600 for the same property right now. So that's a pump for that. Okay. Showingtime. How many people are using it? Yeah. But are you starting to see more requirements in there? Okay. I know that some agents start getting used to Showingtime. It does make your life easier. It does make the listing agent's life easier, and it makes communicating with your buyers. Because old school was appointment with listing agent, right? You have to call me and say, hey, can you make an appointment at 2? Hold on, let me get back to you. I gotta go call the owner and see if we can get in at 2. Then I come back and say, oh, that's 2:30. Oh, let me see with my client. Kind of takes forever, right? So, tour-wise, if you guys are setting up your tours, um, this is the way to go. I don't know if you guys have watched any of these videos yet. There's an intro one, but what's happening now is Zillow ended up buying this. They're giving it Zillow's money, so we call it, because the agents have built Zillow into what it is. Anybody that's buying leads knows that Zillow makes a lot of money off of you. So they're kind of turning into the Mark Zuckerberg of real estate versus the Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. So these platforms are getting recoded, revamped, and it's becoming easier to use. So you need to be on top of it before they start giving it to the consumer, and the consumer figures out how to use it. So you need to be smarter than the consumer because we're using it. So there's a brief video. This is the next generation that's coming in.
Showingtime's next generation experience is more than an evolution. It represents a fundamental redesign and re-engineering of Showingtime's platform, while retaining original functionality and flexibility to adapt to any marketplace. Our truly integrated singular design will still offers live, making it more intuitive and seamlessly integrated into all our products. Tour planning, scheduling, and appointment management is easier than ever before, while helping you keep your personal and professional life separate yet connected. Offline mode is showing sync technology liberating from cell phone data, ensuring you can always see the most current details prior to your appointments. When unexpected schedule changes have you running ahead or behind schedule, Smartly provides options to inform your appointment.
Yeah, it's gonna get crazy.
Someone who is looking around your plan group, you can ask for a tour and show instantly. Messaging gives you tools to effectively communicate with your colleagues and keep all conversations organized and accessible should you need them at any time. Increase visibility of your brand, multilingual support, and light or dark mode to personalize the experience to you. The next generation of Showingtime is just beginning on the app. With so much more to come, giving you an experience so powerful, so personal, and so liberating. It will revolutionize the way showing the schedule and manage.
So as a board, we just launched Showingtime. I believe it was a year and a half ago, or 2 years ago, and it's constantly changing. So I'm in there constantly looking at what's going on. Now they're going to revamp this to where everything's basically touch. We're communicating with each other through this. So if you have a listing, I'm messaging you through here. Let's say running behind, or it's automatically going to start doing that for you. So um, tours in general, if you guys haven't figured it out yet, I don't know how much time are you guys spending with buyers? Just your mind. Yeah. No, I mean in a day. So you have a buyer, they need to buy by the end of November. Take it easy, right? Okay, so now what do we have? 45 days to get them into a house. We should be like at this point 2 tours a week, right? So in your tours, I don't know if you can find them at all, but I mean I know it's constantly you're emailing them these things that are coming to the market. So it's a bit different. But if there's inventory, you guys should be on like 2 hours course, right? About 2 hours to drive, as long as it's one section. 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes. So 5 is probably your max, unless your clients are really fast and you can do 6. So when you select your properties, you just drop them into a tour. Some of them are going to be vacant communities, so they'll automatically approve you. This should launch your appointment only, so that however that's set up with your listing agent, they're scheduling the appointments with them. And
Now, what about maybe the asset? It's something really different on and
no, it'll automatically do it. So whenever it does an update, it'll automatically do it. This change is coming here really cool. But the reason I called this class is because I noticed they already started adding features to it. So with your tours, if you are in your app, yes. Yes.
So the tourist plan is on. You have the same
As your dollar, your public ID, and then yeah. So I keep a realtor app thing, and I keep all my important realtor apps in there. Which MLS Touch, which leads to your MLS client. There should be Showingtime in there. There should be your Century Keys. I don't know if you guys use Realist. I use Realist a lot. But MLS Touch and Showingtime, and then create your app through MLS Touch and keep a copy in there so you can share it. That way does everybody know about the app? And you know how to share it with your client? Okay. So go to MLS Touch. Everybody that's in here, go to MLS Touch. Go to the little hamburger bar on the bottom. Hit the brand and share at the top. Yeah. It's called hamburger. I don't know who came up with that, but when they started doing those lines, it's always been hamburger, right? Because it's 3 lines. Yeah, the hamburger. So brand and share. So make sure the logo's in there. You can change your colors, whatever you want. Whatever you want to preview, you can preview your mobile apps, your email, and listing layouts, right? Mine's pretty simple. It's like tic-tac-toe with the logo on top. Good enough for me, right? But the cool part is if you get your clients using it, they direct contact you versus them downloading Zillow or downloading. You just let them know mine's more up to date. Mine's direct with MLS, so mine's more up to date. If you do Zillow or Redfin, you gotta wait a day or two to see the listing. And then mine also has the coming soon listing, where Zillow and Redfin do not have that. So use this app to search, and now your clients always going to you as a go-to.
So do they put that bill and they use it as their word for zero? Like they put in, what would you just put in a physical area and then?
Right. Okay. But at the bottom is just share my app, right? So there's your link. And what it does is it brings them to the Google Store or the iTunes Store. Download your app to their screen. You can send it by text or email. Hey, I'll send you my app. And then they're now searching on their app, wherever they save it on their phone. Just picture of a house. So now you're their go-to. It's almost better than handing a card out, because now you're kind of in their phone, right? Okay, so if you didn't know about that, use that. As soon as the clients start to look for something, here's my app. Use it. Then they come back to me, so I don't have to worry about it. You'll set them up on their search MLS for emails or whatnot, but this enables them to have it. They can drive around. It will GPS locate the properties and those driving neighborhoods for them, and direct any leads right back to you to schedule appointments, or hey, I found a house to look at. When can we see it? Good stuff in there. This is all stuff that you guys already pay for, so you might as well use it. And a lot of people don't use it. All right, so the other app is your key app, which you guys know, we're returning those cards, so the cards don't work anymore. So now it's all going to be app-based, and make sure your Sentry lock is turned on in your phone. And then that's going to integrate with Showingtime. That's the next integration, so that essentially, yeah, so that you have your GPS on your Sentry and you can walk up. Usually it's actually for your. I might set it to fingerprint. If I walk up to a property and it's got the button and I do something else, and then you can open and switch over the house. That's how easy your Sentry lock should be set up on your phone for showing properties. It should be that easy. Then with instant feedback from listing agents that you walk into the property, and vice versa. So, me? Or Face ID, yeah. Mine's I have that feature too, but yeah, my fingerprint. Just in case, because I have like this one. So if you guys ever need my phone and I'm passed out on the ground, it's this stuff, this one, this one works. It will unlock it, and you can see what kind of showings that I have.
More important than
Exactly. And it's your own customized app. Yeah. And then they're singing the phone. Oh, all you.
what I was doing before was my phone is not outside and then whoever and then share my app. Do you guys do it like the same?
Yeah, it's the same link. So just copy and paste that link, and then they'll click it. It's kind of cool. It's safeguarded where it's going to ask them for a PIN card, and then it makes them input their phone number to get the PIN. So then you're capturing information all in your app, all at the same time. So even if you meet somebody for the first time, we'll have an app you can search even the coming soon. Because that's the part, how you can grab a client real quick. Like, they don't know about coming soon. They just know what hit Zillow and Redfin and whatever consumer-based websites that they're searching for. But you guys have one step further that I can bring you the coming soon stuff. It's 30 days before you even hit the market, and up to the minute listing versus waiting a day for Zillow and Redfin to catch up.
And the app is helping make it easier, right? Because I was
Yeah, they're just real pretty, the Redfin apps and the Zillow. They're super consumer friendly. Once they get in here though and play with your app, they'll see that they have details. The same thing with comparables. It's the same thing when you guys compare. Everything's at the top of your property. So if you went in and at the top of your, like when you click on your listing, right? All your features are at the top. So, hey, I'm showing it to my client. Hey, I like it. Can you send a comparable to me? Well, you said go back to the office, do a comparable. You hit the comparable button, it's going to bring them all up for you, right? 5% up or down, automatic, half-mile distance. You can ignore or pick the same one. I just want recently sold. Next. I got 7 sales. This is mine. And now all I have to do with it is send by SMS. So if you go, now it's not hamburger, but it's 3 dots at the top, pretty much like hamburger. Send by email, send by SMS. So if they're on the phone, which most people are, you just send them a text. Like here's the prompt, so you guys can go and talk about it real quick. I'm gonna head back to the office and start working on the offer. If it's all within range, right? Faster sales, right? Because it's not sold until they do what? So record, yeah. But it's you guys are to sign on the line that we've got it, right? That is really good. So speed things, these are just things that you have walking around doing your normal grocery activities. Right? Couple other things, if you're doing listings, okay, so I'm going to switch back over to Showingtime, because these are really, really helpful. You get this report every week emailed to you. Have you even seen one yet on a listing? So, pricing benchmark is, yeah. So you can come in here, set your parameters however you want, bedrooms, baths. It kind of does it for you and pulls in what's currently in the area pending a recent code. But the fact that you can email it to your client is kind of neat, all included. Yeah. How long it's been on the market, so you can have these conversations about, what do we anticipate for this property, and where do you rank, which I kind of like this to simplify, where Zillow ranks and would kind of do it for you. Where your list price is to the median, where you are to the pending, you can try to show what's pending, but these other properties are getting bought up faster because you have your asking information. And then how do you compare to closing? So this, right now, if you have your email set up, we'll give you this report that you can share with your listings. So it's a great tool as we start getting more data on the market. I mean, we're not there yet. The market is pretty slow unless you're overpriced. If you price it right, it's sold in a week, right? If you're trying to get more, this gives you the opportunity to talk to them. And it's a way to battle the Zillow. It's still exists in this. You got the one that everything's priced, it's just based upon what's in the area. This kind of pinpoints a little bit closer, like foolish. Benchmark pricing is automatically generated for you on your listing. So keep that in mind. There is we went over listing setup before, but you guys know how that works. Okay. Yeah, so once you have the conversation, like, hey, I can do showings every day but Monday, how to block out Mondays, or how to block out Tuesdays, okay, I'll do that. So I'm not going to mess with you. Alright, so I kind of do everything text and email. The reason I do email is because I got a record stack in my inbox showing requests. Um, I have unlimited email, so it doesn't hurt me to have that confidential info. But then I also get text notifications. Now, this is your appointment type. Is it an appointment, is it call and go, or is it view inspection building? This one's a vacant property, but if I wanted it to be appointment only, I would select that, right? And then feedback, if you've shown properties, you get that same feedback template. Would you like it? Would you think the pricing? Would you think the best? And then a room for comment, right? So you can adjust that if you guys want, but those are the easiest ones for revisions. So click, and you guys do that. Okay, so for if you wanted, it's appointment with owner, right? You want to add the owner's name here and the phone number. If that's how you're going to adjust it. So um, owner page, you're going to get this text message says request for showing. You just reply yes or no. Yes or no, get that work. And then if you say no, it's going to ask you if there's another time and then you can type that in. So you put them in as the second notification.
Do you want us to say information on it? You go to evaluate, you got the online negotiating
No, it doesn't. So this is just for Showingtime. So it's for Joe Schmo. Joe Schmo. You put my phone number, and then we're going to say it's my mobile, right? And then it's going to ask you if you can use that. Or it's going to call. Most of the time, I think we're all text oriented. It used to be you could select phone call and call. You have a request for Showingtime. Do you agree? Push one. So who's going to do that? That's almost pointless, but you just got that option. Or it'll do it by email, which is snail slow, so it was a text message. Okay, so now I have me, so I'm getting notifications, confirm or cancel. Um, can I confirm appointments? I should be able to, but that's me going one step further. But what we want to do to speed up time is we want to get Joe Schmo the ability to confirm the appointment. Right? So it's phenomenal. There, then he's going to get notifications of any cancellation. That's it. You went and canceled, then it'll text them this is canceled or being rescheduled. So, now, when this is another option to be aware of, share showing agent details with your client. It's up to you guys if you want their name and company only. You just name and company. You guys, you can choose what you want. I don't see any issues with name and company. So I just give them their phone number to reach out to them and get feedback. Just kind of keep it in between the agents who will move. So just so you know, I don't see anything wrong with that. Or you can say, yeah, sure. You don't want them to know who's coming through. You'll get notification, but they won't get notification of who it is. Just they just go through real quick. So I don't see anything wrong showing the name of the company. As you guys progress too, you'll start to get to know more people in the industry. That's always good to see. Oh yeah, I know. I know Corey. Yeah. He's a good guy. He's gonna go show you how. Lead time. So if they require, they just give a suggestion, or you can do a requirement. So in 2 hours, your house. I gotta put my dogs up. I gotta, have that conversation with them, see what kind lead time they want, and then appointment time. If it's a big house, sometimes it's an hour long, or shorter. And then you can set those parameters there. Um, so overlap. Does anybody understand what overlap is? Okay, so that's we both schedule at the same time. Can we overlap and show up at the same time? So automatically going to go to no physical. It's going to block out 30 minutes for that agent. Unless you're playing the game. I want them all to show up at the same time, so it's turning into a game. Now, sometimes the tenant will allow it. You'll see that in the agent remarks. Tenant, do the president or whatever. Or you can change the status to temporarily off the market due to illness or whatnot. And those are maximum 30 days, 2 seconds. So if you see any of those changes, again, you can do a 2 seconds. If somebody gets sick in the quarantine, have those conversations with the most people want to sell, but T status means that hey, you got to put it on pause. Because the T status form, everybody signs off. The reason why you can't access it through the COVID report. I think the rule is still the same, where the seller should leave the property so that you can go in. If not, then everybody has to put a mask on when buyers and sellers are co-crossing. That's about it for showing. Okay, so then restriction. So now you got to write a reason in, right? So here's one: 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. They're showing for after 2, right? Simple. for 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. Right? Then you gotta pick. Maybe it's only one day that they can allow. Or the first 2 days or whatever. Or is it every Monday? What's that? So today, I go to my listing period, which is March 31st, May 1st, right? And that's every Monday. And then you say, so now that's in here, and then you have the ability to edit that whenever you want, or just permanently delete it. But what that does, same with access information. So say there's a code for the courtyard gate that you want to give the agent the number to, and you can put that in. Or if there's an alarm, when you click alarm, there you go. Alarm code, put them in there. I hate alarms, by the way. Just turn them off during showing time, but because sometimes those, they give you all the numbers, but they don't tell you you're supposed to push 1 or 2 to start, or
I was in one that went off.
They're loud, right?
Oh my gosh, it was so loud. Now I'm so nervous every time I'm like, did you hear me? Oh my gosh, gonna go. Yeah, it's so scary.
All right, so let's hit save changes. And let's go to showings. Mine's weird because I get everybody's. Yeah. It's hard to show you guys too, because yours is less. Same when I do property based stuff, because everybody's files pull up in my account. So, all right. So, I want to make a new request, right? And that was Tingle. So if I go in here, yes, I want to schedule an appointment. Yes, I do. Okay. Yes, it's me. All right. Schedule single showing. So see how I blocked out Mondays from 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. So now the agent on the other side only has the option to pick those periods. So you can restrict them. If it's every morning till noon or whatnot, you just do every day. And then it blocks out. And if you've seen that when you're scheduling your appointments, that's why. So on your listings, this is an easy way to manage, rather than trusting the agent to read the agent-to-agent remarks that says dog will bite you between 12 and 2. This just automatically blocks out, so you can't pick that up. Okay.
So even if it's key any vacant, do you recommend still using Showingtime? Just for
if you have restrictions, otherwise it's just going to automatically revert to go and show. So, and what happens when you add it to your cart, because it maps your tour for you, right?
No, I'm talking about my listing. So if my listing is going to be vacant,
Yeah.
you recommend still doing this? Just for record keeping, or
it will automatically allow them to do it. So you'll still get so as long as they're using Showingtime for their tours, you'll still get Showingtime feedback. Either way, you're going to get an access notification from SentryLock, or you're going to get showing where they made an appointment, and it will automatically confirm if they're using Showingtime. But I think a lot of people need to start going to this just so that we have record. All it's doing is protecting us that, hey, what did you do on October 18th? Well, I did a tour from 12 to 2, and these are the houses that I went to.
and here's when I accessed them all. And same with like, oh, this agent wasn't representing me well. Have you ever had that argument? Like, no, we went and we looked at all of these properties, and I have record of it. So I wasn't treating you unfairly, or what is it, fair housing? You know, you're discriminating by not showing me these houses, or record. Keep records of everything. Okay, so any questions on listing setup? Okay. So let me take Joe Chanel out here before I forget. Delete. And delete. So all these changes are coming. So embrace it, right? Please let me contact your phone appointment. Oh. Oh, that's what there. New thing that prompted, we go to showing. Just go back to this is a convenient place also to I'm trying to find a, I haven't done a showing. When the last time I was like showing stuff. So So once you do a showing tour, you can like put these in order from wherever you guys want to start if you haven't done one yet. So if you do 4 or 5 of them in a row, it'll map it. And wherever you're starting, I'll tell you 1 to 2 and give you turn by turns.
So Corey, I do this like old school, like I like look up each address and then search it on the map and then see the distance from my house and, you know, so.
That's how I do it.
So,
Yeah. So I'm
How do you set
gonna show you guys real quick. I'm gonna make your life so much easier here real quick. So let's go in and I'm showing 400 to 420,000. Let's just see there. And I like map because it's generally how people communicate these days, right? And I'm going to do around this office. I'm going to show this house, right? This house by Sienna. And let's say I got one up here in Summerlin. I'm going to add that mix in there. And like I said, 5 is 2 hours, right? Hey, I sold that house. I did. That's funny. All right, so I got 4, and then say I want to end up back at afterwards, okay? So let's refine, narrow it to just those 5 homes. And then I see all these tools down here? I'm going to go click Showingtime as my action button. And I'm going to add these to my showing cart. And I'm going to do this to tomorrow. And not provided. This is where I'll put in. Yeah. And bingo, bango, bingo. Okay. So now, where do I want to start at, right? So I'm gonna leave the office. I want to do these two together. So number 5 needs to be pushed up to number 2, right? So now I got 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and 5, and south. Okay. Now these looks like they're all appointment required. So now we need to take times, right? And then it also gives you how far away I gotta go.
From each distance?
Yeah, in between. So if I did number 1 first, then it's gonna take me 3.5 miles and 9 minutes to get to number 2. From number 2, it's gonna take me 1.8 miles, right?
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Yeah, it's called showing cart.
I love that. Yeah.
Okay.
I love it.
And yeah, and say you want to add lunch in, right? Like, hey, I'm gonna take you guys. Yeah, if we're going between 11 and 1, let's stop and have lunch at Gramercy or something. You know what I mean? You would pick a taco joint or something, and then you would add that in, between your appointments. Now that you have a tour, right? Or you can say, give me the smart route. If you want to be efficient and green and save gas, and it's going to put it in this order. It's going to start me down here, and then we're going to finish up at 4. So you're just going to pick out the best routes for you. Okay? Which works for me because then I end by my house. So if it was a late afternoon thing, I would just end and go home afterwards. So now you get to pick your time. I want to start at 2 o'clock, 2:15. You want to make any notes to the listing agent? Like, please have cold water or hand sanitizer for me when I arrive, and some Evian water. Just kidding, don't do that. Do it though, it'd be funny. Because I would read that and go, these guys are hilarious. All right, so we're going to do between 2 and 2:15, right? Save. Maybe. No.
It's going so well.
I was doing great, right?
Yeah.
Now computer. Okay. Hold on. It's the connection to the it works here. Just need to connect so you guys can see it. Otherwise, all right. Checking my live stream to see if there's any questions. Here so you guys can see it. All right, so now we're building our showing time. Right? Or maybe not. Where was it? Right here. All right, here's my tour.
Send that list to your clients, like that order?
Yes. So if you're like traveling in 2 cars, I'll show you here in a second. Once it gets approved. So we need to smart route it again.
I've really been using a map and like individual.
The map's already here.
Yeah. Can they email this to your client? And like client for them?
Yeah. Once you pick all your times out.
And then if you're requesting these times, you obviously have to give the listing agent enough time to respond.
Yeah. So like, yeah, night before if we do in the morning.
Yeah,
morning.
or that morning if you're doing the afternoon, or
Yeah.
you know your clients better than I do, but you get the drift of how
Yeah, great.
you want to travel. So then my last appointment is like 3:30, 3:45, 4. So and I start at 2, right? And I should be done by 4 o'clock with these gaps. So what you do at this point is you send the request. And then that will trigger that text message to each agent or the seller so they can authorize and move. So now I'm just waiting for that to get approved, and then that tour is scheduled for 2 to 4 o'clock this afternoon. Okay. Now that you have all those, right, in Showingtime, for me, once they're all approved, I just put them in order here. Okay.
You can drag and change that.
Yeah. So over here, you see the little hamburger. You just drag that up. So say I got to start at that one, and then this one too here. What I like to do is hit email, but I hit preview, and then I take this. See, it gives them a map. So here we're going to go in this order. We're going to go to Flowerette, Castle, Martin, Court, whatever order it's in, and then I copy and text that to my client. Now it's all SMS, so now you can just tour today, link, click here, meet me at property number 1 at this time, once you get all the confirmations back. See how easy that is? And then you print your printouts and like, hey, here's the tour today.
I was gonna ask if you still print out.
I still print out because, because you can do it this way and have the link available, but the printout's good because you have the detail there and you have the financial portion, which is your HOAs, your taxes, what if there's rent being paid, what your commission's going to be. It's all.
Oh, no, I mean for the client. I definitely print.
Oh, the client one, I like the
I have my
picture one, the 12 photo one.
Oh, yes, what you do?
Yeah, so I'll do just so they have the pictures, because that's what they're going to remember.
Yeah.
And make notes on the back. So the picture one is.
Oh, the gallery. Oh. Because I just usually do the brochure view. Oh, yeah.
Brochure's cool, but they have the details that I just texted to them. So if they want to look at the taxes and all that stuff, they just, when they're looking at this email, they just click on the front.
So that link will take them to that page?
Yes. This one. So it'll give them this with all the pictures. It'll give them all the details that they need. So in hand, what I try to give them is as much visual as they can have and make notes. So if you go to here, and it is total photo view. So photo view has all the pictures, and you can send them this in a link too. But like I said, once you get it into the email format here, they have all the details for that property. And most people don't like carrying too much paper anyway. It depends on your client. If your client's a paper person, I like the color pictures to refer back to if they're making notes. Anyways, that's what I like using. And so now we have the tour together. And if you want turn-by-turn directions, you can do that. But that's basically it. Now you have a record. You see these? So if you wanted to print the map or print the order that you're going to do that, and then if you wanted to email that over instead of doing it the way that I just did it, it would be the same links. So to so-and-so, please find the link. this is where we're gonna go, and then they'll have the same showing time as you.
I like that. Yeah, that's awesome. They're like, oh, we'll follow you.
Yeah, well, that way they don't get lost too.
Yeah,
They can just
yeah,
click
they
it.
have it.
It's like, oh, we're going to number 2 next, or number
Yeah,
3.
and no matter what I do, you use your order and then show up at the second one first.
Yeah.
I can't make it anymore. I always come around.
This one helps because this actually gives them the time frames that we're supposed to be arriving. And then at that same instant, they respect your time. Because I made all these appointments, and we're going to go between 2 and 4. And the same vice versa. I want to respect your time, so we're going to go from 2 to 4. These are the 5 that we're seeing. And that's usually what your discussions are back and forth, right? Like, hey, I want to see this one on Saturday along with this one. All right, great. Let me pick out 2 other ones so we don't waste any time. And then you have 5 in a 2-hour period. For the most part, like 5's a good number to narrow down to like 1 or 2. It's usually second or third time you're out. You've seen 15 homes. I don't know. There are other difficult buyers, but somebody that needs to move into something can usually pick something out of 10 or 15 homes. Yeah, this one will work. It's my budget. That's all it's available type of scenario. So, yeah, once that's all set up, so just on Showingtime, your MLS touch app, just make sure your information's in there correct. Make sure your cell phone's in there. You got a picture of a pretty face in there, or, so they know who you are. But this, I'm trying to get to why I'm holding this class. But once you make these appointments, there's the ability to make an offer right through here. Okay. So, let's see if I can get to somebody's here. This is hard to teach because it's after you show the property. So, let's see if I can find it here. So, properties that I have requested. Let me see if it's in here. Let me get to. The problem is I gotta find something that I showed that's still available, which I don't have. Oh man, I am unprepared because I can't find it now. So let's see. They didn't take it out, or they're revamping. Over on the left, you're gonna, once you have a tour in order, and it asks you for your feedback, there's an option to make an offer. It's going to ask you the questions. Did you like it? What was your top one? Are you considering making an offer? On the left hamburger of your screen after you've shown it, there's an offer button. And what it does is it gives you the option to run a synopsis of what your offer is going to be. Like, I'm going to offer for 40, it's conventional, such and such price. And then it allows you to drag and drop your purchase agreement into that and notify the agent. Now, if the agent still has notifications to the seller will get a note that you received an offer, so reach out to your agent. So you're not getting ignored, you know what I mean? And I don't think a lot of agents know that this is available. And I almost want to schedule a showing, but so I can show you guys real quick. property that I've been in. This is why it's hard to show you guys. So it's got to be a property that you've been to and is available. Let's see if I can go back. Dancing Club. Isn't it out by the sewer? I told my client it was out by the sewer or something. Yeah, and I was like, you really want me to drive out there and look at it for you? They needed an investment property, and I'm like, I go,
We got our
But-
offers accepted when we found a different one.
yeah, it's a small, and I'm like, you're gonna ask me to resell it in like 5 years, and I'm gonna have a hard time because it's by the, once the wind shifts south, you have the sewer air floating over. They didn't understand what I was saying for a while, and it's like sewer, it smells like poop. Yeah, when I flush my toilet here, it ends up down there.
For yesterday, I showed a house that has an easement, so there's no home next, like it's an empty lot. It was really pretty. It was great, you don't have a neighbor, but I was like, how do I look up why that easement is there? Like if there was,
To get to the property,
the whole lot next to this house was an easement. So they'll never have a neighbor there. It's like an empty lot,
an easement for what though? An easement's just
Exactly. How do I
a
find
permission
out-
to.
Exactly, how do I find out why, like if there's gonna be city people who work there, or
Well, to find out what land it is,
I guess, or to find out what the easement's for, or.
I'm gonna venture off into more stuff, but I can do this class again. It's called Gizmo.
Oh, yeah.
And what that does for you guys is maps out all of your zoning. Maybe I'll do this one next week for you guys again, because I had sat with Natasha and she had no idea that this website existed and what it can do for you. You can always pull a title report from title and say, hey, we're curious about this easement. Can you pull this parcel number
Okay.
and let me know what the scenario is? Or you can jump on Gizmo, which is map generated, and just click that parcel, and it'll tell you who the owner is, what the restrictions are. Just type in GIS, Geographical Information System Mapping, some organization or something like that.
There's no Clark County.
Yeah, Gizmo Park County. And it's probably not working because I got so much apps open.
Okay, cool, thanks.
The other thing is you can go in here and click on it on the map. Do you know the address? Vicinity, cross street?
340 Winery, WINERY Ridge.
Wine Ridge?
Winery Ridge, WINERY.
Winery, like my favorite places.
Ridge, yeah.
So
Sorry, that's
this is now, I mean, you guys need to know, you can just click on, this looks like there's animals there. Vacant land, this one?
yeah, it was just, they like made it look like a park.
This piece right here. Which easement are you talking about though? Here's the property, 341 Winery.
Oh, yeah.
This, so anywhere in Summerlin, in case you guys aren't aware, they have to have dedicated greenery or parks at the entrance to a subdivision. So anything in Summerlin you pull into their, either it's gated or not, has either allotted for parks and recreation or greenery versus letting the builders maximize profit by building, 2 more houses on it. So you have to dedicate 2 lots to, beautification is what it's called.
This wasn't that, this was literally that, like the empty lot next to their house.
This.
Yeah,
Was it 340 or 341?
340.
Oh, yeah, that's wow.
So this is Summerlin North,
340,
340.
yeah, you wrote 341.
Oh, is it this one?
We're across the
That's
street.
across the street, so, yeah, that's it, that's the empty lot.
340.
Landscape easement beside me, no neighbors. I was just wondering, like, if that would mean, like, someone was going to do work on that land, or?
Summerlin North. So it was probably the lot was too small to build on, or they needed access for drainage, or they needed a fire gate. Without seeing it and looking at the dimensions of it. So the owner is someone north. It's the HOA. I would say.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So they'll landscape and maintain it.
Oh, okay.
Do whatever the CCNRs deem necessary.
Oh, so it's not like the city has to come do.
No, that's Summerlin North. So it was dedicated to Summerlin North. That's the. It looks like there's a bunch of sheep in there.
It's like rocks and
Yeah.
like landscape.
So it's like parked.
Okay.
And it could have been any number of things. Like
So random.
this wasn't big enough.
Oh,
So they mandated that another piece be set aside for greenery,
Mhm.
or when it rains up here, it drains that way.
mhm.
So it could be any number of things, but it's Summerlin North. That's who the owner is. That's who maintains it. And if they ever wanted to build on it, you would check with Summerlin North. But all you gotta do is click on the lot with Matrix,
Oh, I see.
and everything appears. You can go to the tax record here and find out more. If you click the parcel number, everything's a click button for you guys. Like, I didn't have all this. I had to know where to go to find these things. You guys, they're all click and link. And then once you read enough of them, you become super educated about it. So assessor map is down here. And that gives you the breakdown of the parcels. So when I was learning, I had to learn township ranges and sections.
Oh, like in school?
Yeah, because you had a flip book
That's why it's.
to map things out, and then we started becoming more satellite oriented. When I first moved here in 1998, my really good friend's roommate was a topographer, so he'd go up in the airplanes and take pictures, and that is how we found things. Now it's Google Map, and it's at the touch of our hands. So, and you had to know which township and range you were looking at to pull up the parcels. So you have no idea how easy this thing is going to be. A couple other things about this link that I clicked on for you guys. This is really important, especially with older homes, because in this town you can build as much as you want. Nobody's going to restrict you. But if you're trying to find whether it's permitted, if you click building sketch, the permits will be,
For an individual public.
Yeah.
Okay.
so this one's not going to have a building, of course, because it's a piece of land. But if you were to say, and you guys can take off whenever you want. Again, you guys don't have to hang out with me, learn more stuff. But when you click the tax button and you go into realist, not realist, it was the parcel number. So you have just all links now. And I need the building sketch. Did it block me? There we go. So these have to be documented with the county assessor site, because that's how they tax your property based upon the size. So, for example, is if you're looking in these areas that were built in the 80s and somebody has additions or they converted garages, in order for you guys to use that as part of the square footage, it needs to be in here. Okay, so they're gonna tell you what the livable square footage is in that livable area, and sometimes you'll get this is the newer version. If you click on an older house, there's actual sketches that were scanned and stored in here. So, and they'll have, addition or patio was added in 1985 or such like that. So when you guys have issues with, hey, I'm unsure if this is, 1,800 square feet or 2,200 square feet, you want to measure, you're always going to suggest an appraisal. But to check if it's permitted, it's going to be under this building sketch. And then if you run into issues there, you just call the building department, and then they'll pull their archives there and try to do it. And then MLS is easy. So if it's showing 1,800, but it's actually 2,200, you just call MLS. It's like, hey, I got the building sketches. I already called county. Can you adjust the square footage to 2,200? And they'll say, well, if you have all the backing, we'll change that for you. Like, yes, I have it all in file. It's all documented. So this is a key link too for you guys. Okay. As you find older properties with additions. Same with casitas. Was that casita permitted? I don't know. Let's go check.
That's cool.
Because they don't know if they paid for it or not. Like, well, the contractor was supposed to do it. Or since the contractor didn't go, yeah, I'll permit it for $800. They'll never know. All right. So keep an eye on Showingtime because it's going to affect your life a lot. There are cool little videos every time they release something that you can watch. In the front, where's the help button? Where's the help button? Show me more. Offers is the next one. So I wanted to get into it, but it's brand new. It just hit. But it's where you can schedule your showings, go show. Hey, yes, we're interested. You answer all the questions. And then there's an offer block that you can start sending the offers over. So essentially they're getting presented and you don't have to have that question of, did that agent present my offer? You know, he said, yes, I got it, but is he presenting my offer or is he holding on to my offer, for a cash offer to come in place? These are the arguments that we have in grievance. That's why I bring it up, is ethics, like whether or not they're being presented or they're being held out for several days. This kind of alleviates it and gives you record that that agent received that offer at 12:15 p.m. With the attachment attached to it. And I also emailed it. And it kind of alerts the seller, if they're sharing information with the seller, that, hey, you have an offer that we need to discuss. So offers, big thing. On top of the way we're doing tours as it is, Showingtime is, I think, our future for streamlining our business. So it's one extra client you can work with if you save 2 hours out of your day instead of scheduling, right? Cool. All right, if you guys need anything, I am always available. You know how to find me. I am turning off stream. If there's any questions on the stream. And